Right. So as you mentioned, well, you didn't mention that, but NFL Europe was discontinued 2007,
Yeah.
and then as you mentioned, you came here. You came to Germany 2008. Came to play for the then Braunschweig Lions.
Yeah.
Now they're New York Lions, of course. You won the German Bowl with them, and you were the German Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
But why go to Germany? Why? What was? I guess you can say special about Germany. You know, there's football in Italy, Austria, France, other Poland, other countries. Why Germany?
I had no intention to come to Germany. Like, I literally found myself here by pure accident or coincidence. After we have to go back because NFL Europe has discontinued, and they had the international player program.
Right.
So the international player program was that you select at the time it was 16 guys to go off to an NFL Europe NFL practice squad.
Right.
And they will stay with that team for the year.
Right.
And then I had broken my collarbone, so I was one of those guys that was on the brink of going. I ended up breaking my collarbone in a completely freak accident. I wanted to get some practice in, and me and another friend were running some drills, and I jumped up for a ball, tried to catch it with one hand. Like, I had no right trying to catch this ball. Like, and I ended up catching it. He moves out of the way, and I ended up falling backwards and ended up cracking my collarbone. So then I missed all the training camps for the NFL International program. And then after everybody had been allocated to their teams, well, before that, I actually made it against all odds, I guess, to the final camp.
Oh, okay.
And it's probably the best shape I'd ever been in my life, because while I was rehabbing this, or while this was healing, I was in the gym doing some leg work, and this healed within I'd say 6 weeks. I don't think it was properly healed, but I think my mentality at that time was so strong, and I really believed it. Like, I think my mind healed it. And you know, some people might just think I'm just a weirdo, but I genuinely think my mind healed me quicker than I should have.
Right.
Because I was in a positive mind state the whole time. I wasn't sitting down and thinking, oh, I'm done, I'm this. Like, every day I was up and I was training, and I kept myself active. And then after 10 weeks, I was back training. And they thought I'd be timid, but I was popping like more than before, quicker than I was before. You know, I was in better shape than I was before. But it was just too little, too late.
Right.
You know, because I'd already missed so many camps. So then I was in limbo. I was like, okay, what do I do now? And then my boy was on the team, Johan Schnee. And you might have heard that name from David, because he's the one that brought David over to Berlin. He ended up being like an agent for a lot of guys. I was his first unofficial player that he brought over, because Jabari Johnson, he was injured. He had turf toe, and they needed a running back, you know, because Jabari he wasn't 100%.
Right.
So Johan called me and said, "Hey, do you want to come to Germany for a few months? Like, you start in July, and if we make it to the German Bowl, you'll be home by October." I had nothing to do. I literally had nothing to do. I was sitting at home, just I'm not in the NFL training camp. I have to wait till next year. I haven't played a game in 2 years. I'd played a game, but I haven't carried the ball in 2 years.
Right.
I carried the ball once in 2 years. So
But you were still in good shape.
I was in great shape, but again, I hadn't physically had a ball in hand in a game situation in 2 years. So I was like, all right, I guess, you know, I'll come over. You know, whatever the situation is, we'll figure it out when we get there. But,
Yeah, well, you came over and, you know,
great
things happened.
I did well, I guess.
Yeah.
You know? So it was a good season. Me and Jabari ended up going that 1-2 kind of punch with each other. He healed up, and by the time we got into the German Bowl, we were both kind of just on fire, I guess.
Yeah, just like the perfect tandem, pretty much, for any offensive coordinator. Yeah. And probably not for the defense, but definitely for the offensive coordinator.
Not for our wide receivers. They didn't get the ball.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they. But at the end of the season, they got themselves also a championship.
Exactly,
So it's a team thing.
Exactly.